Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in today's video we will understand how to sync Calendly and Google Calendar. So here let's assume that I have scheduled an event in Calendly and now my objective is that whenever an invitee is going to be created in Calendly, then I want to create the same event in my Google Calendar as well. So now to do this, I need to build an integration between these two applications, for which I will be using this amazing integration and automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. So here my trigger application will be Calendly and my action application will be Google Calendar. So if you want to learn more about this integration, follow me through the screen. In this video, we will understand how to sync Calendly and Google Calendar. So here let's assume that you have scheduled an event in Calendly and every time an invitee is created for this event, then you want to schedule an event in Google Calendar as well. So now to do this, you need to build an integration between these two applications, for which I will be using Pabbly Connect. So as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. But if you are a new user, you can click on the sign up for free button and every month you will get 100 tasks for free. So as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. This here is the all applications page by Pabbly. So here I will go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach my dashboard. So this here is my dashboard, and to create a new workflow, I will go to my right hand side corner and click on this create workflow button. So now in this dialog box appearing, I'm going to give my workflow a name. So here I've named it as Sync Calendly and Google Calendar, and on my left hand side, these are the folders I've created before. So I want to save this workflow in the folder named as Sync, and here I'm going to click on Create. So as I did that, now I've arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. Basically, trigger and action are the two most important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect, on which this entire automation and integration will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. Action is an automated response of your trigger application, and in a workflow, you can only have one trigger but multiple action. So moving to my use case, that is to sync Calendly and Google Calendar. So to do that, here in my trigger window, I'm going to use Calendly as my trigger application. Here it is. So now moving to the trigger event, that will be invitee created. So this trigger will start working whenever an invitee will be created. So I'm selecting it. So now moving to my action window, as I want to sync Calendly and Google Calendar, so Google Calendar will be my action application. So I'm searching for Google Calendar over here, and here it is. And the action event will be to create an event. So as I've selected my action application and the action event along with my trigger application and the trigger event, so here my objective is that whenever in Calendly an invitee will be created for an event, then automatically an event should be created in Google Calendar as well. So now to do this, firstly I need to establish a connection between Calendly and Pabbly Connect. So to do that, here I'm going to click on Connect. And now to add a new connection, I'm simply going to click on Connect with Calendly. I've already opened Calendly in one of my tabs. So here you can see that the authorization is successful. So here, as I've selected the trigger event as invitee created organization, so it is mentioned over here, this trigger the webhook for all subscribed events within the organization. So this here is the organization ID. And this here is the username. So now to proceed further with the process, I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. Now I have to do a test submission or record in that application in order to capture the response over here in Pabbly Connect. So taking you to Calendly, this here is the event that I've created by the name of Digital Marketing Event. So here I'm going to create a dummy invitee. So I'm going to open the View Booking page. And here I'm going to create an invitee for 16th, that is Saturday. The timing will be 9:30 a.m. I'm going to click on Next. And here I'm going to fill in the details. So here these are the details I've added. These are the dummy details. First name goes as dummy, last name as user, email is dummy@pabblytunes.com. Here is a dummy mobile number, and now I'm going to click on Schedule Event. So now here you can see that it says you are scheduled. That means an invitee has been successfully created. So now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. And over here you can see I've received a response. So here is the email ID. Here is the first name, last name, along with some other details. So here you can see the end time and the start time as well. So here is the name of the event, that is digital marketing event. So scrolling down to some other details, over here you can see that the created at time and the end time is different as I've mentioned over here. So here the time which I've mentioned was 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. While the response I've received over here, the time does not match. So here in the response received, I've received it in the ETC or the UTC format. So now to get the time in proper format, here I'm going to click on this add action step. And now over here, I'm going to use date time formatter by Pabbly. So date time formatter will help me to rectify this. So now here in the action event, I'm going to select it as format time zone only. And now I'm going to click on connect. So now here I need to enter the date. So from the response received, I'm going to map it. So basically mapping is to insert the data from previous step. So here from response received, I've mapped the date. And this is the format which is followed over here. So now moving to from time zone, as I've received the response in ETC UTC format. So here I'm going to select it as ETC UTC and the to time zone will be Asia Kolkata. So here I'm going to write Asia Kolkata. Here it is. So I have changed the from time zone and the to time zone part to rectify the date time over here in the response that I've received. So now I'm going to click on save and send test request. So here in the response, you can see I have received the right timing, that was 9:30. So here you can check as well that the timing which I have mentioned was 9:30 and now the same timing I have achieved over here in Pabbly Connect. So this step is for the start time and now by clicking on this add action step, I'm going to do this for the same for the end time as well for the event. So again here I'm going to search for date time formatter. And now the action event will be to format time zone only. I'm going to click on connect. And now here again I'm going to map the date. So here I've mapped the event end time and now here the from format goes as same. Again changing the time zone to ETC UTC format. So here I'm going to select it. Moving to time zone, here it will be Asia/Kolkata. So I've set this time zone according to my time zone. You can change it as per your time zone as well. So I'm now again going to click on save and send test request. And here you can see I've received the response and this here is the end time, that was 10 a.m. So here you can check that it is 10 a.m. and the same time response is now over here in Pabbly Connect. So now moving ahead, as I want to sync Calendly and Google Calendar, so over here to do that, I need to establish a connection between Google Calendar and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on connect. And now I'm going to add a new connection. For that, I just have to sign in with my Google account. Here I'm going to click on allow as this is a secure access. And you can see that the authorization is successful. So here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to select the calendar as Calendly events. And now here I need to mention the title. So over here in title, I'm going to mention the name of the event, that is digital marketing event. So I'm going to map it. So now moving to the description. If you want to add a description over here, you can do that. But as of now, I'm leaving it blank. If you want to mention the location as well, you can do that. So now moving to the start date time. So over here, as I formatted the time by using date time formatter by Pabbly. So here I'm going to map the start date time. Once this is done, moving to the end date time, again from the response received, I'm going to map it. So now moving to the time zone, here I'm going to select the time zone as per my requirement, that is Asia/Kolkata. Here it is. And now the visibility for this event, I want to keep it as public. You can even keep it as private. So now moving to guest, if you want to add any guest over here, you can do that. You can mention the guest email address over here and the guest will be added automatically. So moving to event recurrence rule. So over here, if you want to create this one-time event, you have to use this rule. So as I'm going to create this as a one-time event, so I'm going to copy the same. And then here in this above field, I'm going to mention it. So as over here, I've mapped all of these details. This method of mapping is important so that every time you receive a new response with new data, so that data can be taken into consideration in these fields. If I would have written this information manually, in that case, this information would have become static, which means that it wouldn't change even if I would have received new response. So to avoid that problem, we map the information. So now as all of the details are mapped, so now I'm going to click on save and send test request to see the response. And here you can see I have received the response and the status is confirmed. That means an event would have been scheduled in my Google Calendar as well. So now I'm going to take you to my Google Calendar. So here in Google Calendar, you can see that the event has been scheduled. This is the name of the event, digital marketing event. Here is the date, time, and the recurrence, that is once. So this integration and automation is a successful one. Now, whenever an invitee will be created for the event in Calendly, then automatically an event will be scheduled in Google Calendar. Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubts regarding Pabbly, reach us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can visit us at forum.pabbly.com. If you have any pricing related query, you can visit this link. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel.